The first sketch tool we'll take a look at is the line. First, notice that the line tool has a drop-down menu, and it contains the line tool and the center line tool. I'll discuss the center line tool in a later lesson. I can also locate the line tool from Tools, Sketch Entities, or by right-clicking in the graphics area. Using the S key shortcut, or using mouse gestures by holding down the right mouse button and dragging to the left. For now, I'll activate the line tool by clicking the line icon in the drop-down menu or click the main icon itself. As I move the cursor into the graphics area, you see that it has changed to a pencil with a line underneath. This is to let me know which tool is active. If I switch to other tools by clicking on these sketch tools icons, you can see the cursor feedback will change. Let me get back to the line tool. To create a line, I click to begin, move my cursor, and click again. After selecting the second time, you can see a point was added, and another line segment has started. This is a convenient way to create a chain of lines. I simply continue to click and more line segments are added. To end the chain of lines, I can right-click and select End Chain from the pop-up menu. Another way to end a chain of lines is to double-click. When you double-click, the last point you added becomes the end of the chain. There is a slight variation to this method of creating geometry that many users prefer. Instead of clicking to begin a line segment, then moving the cursor and clicking again to add a point, you have the option of click dragging. I'll click and keep the mouse button pressed. Then I'll drag to the location where I want the line segment to end and release the button. The difference, as you can see, is that no chain of lines is created, just one segment. For those that don't want to worry about ending chains either by right-clicking or double-clicking, this might be a better method. Other sketch tools work very much like the line tool. Let me clear this sketch by deleting these lines. To delete sketch items, all you have to do is select them and press delete on your keyboard. This can be an annoying stumbling block that trips up many new users. To select something in Solidworks, you click on it. However, because I still have the line tool activated, when I click on these lines, I end up beginning a new line. Typically, a new user will notice this, and to try to avoid this new line, they'll bring their cursor back to the beginning very carefully, hoping that Solidworks will forget all about the new line. The problem with this is that you end up with these little tiny specks of lines that can cause nightmares down the road. To avoid all this trouble, just remember to turn off whatever sketch tool you might have on before you try to select things. Turning a sketch tool off is easy. Either click again on the active tool or click on the select icon, the icon with the picture of the arrow pointer. For those of you that like to use right-click shortcuts, you can also right-click and pick Select from the pop-up menu. Another very popular method to exit from an active tool in SolidWorks and return to the Select tool is to hit the Escape key on your keyboard. Now with the Select tool, I can click on these lines to select them and press Delete on the keyboard to delete them. If you want to select more than one line, just hold down the Control key as you click on the lines. You can see several lines turn blue, meaning that they're selected. When I press Delete, they all go away. One last trick to selecting items in a sketch. If you have a group of items to select, you can click and drag a box around them to select them all at once. Dragging a box from the left to the right will select any elements that are completely inside of the box. Notice the box selection appears in a solid line. Dragging from the right to left will select any elements inside of the box or crossing the box boundaries. This time, notice the box selection appears with a dashed line.